It is a technological world, and what does the coolest dad on the West Coast do when it's summer vacation and you play video games with your kids? Well, you take those kids out to the middle of the wilderness. Welcome back, buddy. It's great to see you.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. It's nice to be the coolest dad in Canada. I don't know that I can live up to that one.
Well, pressure's on. So how are the mosquito bites? How was the vacation? Do you have itchy ankles? What's happening? Give us the update.
We were in sort of cottage country Ontario, so not too many mosquitoes actually, which surprised me because usually bugs can be really bad there. But I think that it's been really hot in Ontario, certainly in the areas where we were, and I think that might have gotten rid of some of those bugs. We spent a lot of time in the water. There was some kayaking. There was swimming every day. We did some fishing, caught some fish, read some books. It was just downtime. Really nice.
Awesome. Love it. Well, let's get back to the technology. Welcome back to Electricity and Civilization. Blaine Kyllo is going to get us started with a little bit of this game.
Good evening, New York. Time to bring the fear back.
Welcome to the party. Just in time for the fireworks.
Hope you like surprise, Spider!
Oh, for me? You shouldn't have. This is too good to be true. Scorpion, can you hold on a minute? I was in the middle of a phone call.
Spider dude. What is it?
Yeah, like I needed another excuse to play Insomniac Spider-Man games. The reason I'm talking about it now is because PlayStation has released Marvel's Spider-Man, the remastered version, on Windows boxes. So normally, Sony has always kept their games to their consoles, so you could play these things on the PS4, the PS5, whatever. But in the past few years, some of the games that they're publishing, a few years in, they're making them available for people who play games on computers. And Spider-Man Remastered is the latest. This is just a really fantastic game. It was the first game in the Spider-Man franchise that Insomniac took on. It established how well they could not only put together a strong narrative with really excellent writing, but more than anything, make you feel like you are actually Spider-Man flinging yourself through the buildings of Manhattan. It's just an absolutely wonderful experience. And now everybody who doesn't have a PlayStation console but plays games on computers can play it on their computers. And the benefit, the reason that people play on computers is because you've got more control over that experience. So a fully kitted out gaming rig with an ultra wide 4K monitor, you're getting visuals that nobody else is going to be able to see. The game's got an unlocked frame rate, which means that if you've got the right kind of computer, it's going to run faster and smoother. And it even supports a triple monitor setup. So if you really want a surround viewing experience, you can have 3 great big monitors setting up and feel like you're Spider-Man taking out all of those bad guys.
Very cool. Very cool stuff. Uber geek, but very cool. I love it. Okay, so it sounds like Sony finally learned from the whole beta VHS story from 40 years ago, and they're finally moving their stuff to other platforms, which is cool. Okay, what else is going on? Destiny 2, there's more there?
Yeah, because Bungie just keeps making life out of a game that is now 5 years old. So Destiny 2 released back in 2017. And in an online showcase on Tuesday, they laid out the plan for the next year or so, and it includes a whole new expansion called Lightfall that's going to release in February and brings us a whole bunch of new things to a game that we just can't get enough of. There's a new enemy called the Witness. There's a new power. It's called Strand, so it's like a psychic energy that they're bringing into the game, and what it enables is a grappling hook maneuver that all players can use. So you can actually use this grappling hook anywhere, which is going to completely change how people navigate through the space. And more importantly, we get a new environment. And this is something that Bungie is really good at, is giving us very different environments to play in. We're going to Neptune with this Lightfall expansion into a shiny futuristic city called Neomuna. and it's actually a city that nobody knew existed, and so it's kind of coming out of hiding, and that's part of the storyline of Lightfall. In the meantime, we get the Season of Plunder, which is Destiny with pirates. So lots of fun to be had in the new season, which runs from now until the end of December.
Seasons in video games has become, and chapters have been really, really a big deal in keeping video games fresh online, as they can refresh them and change them and everything else. For those who haven't played games in a long time, it's not like it used to be with Pac-Man, where it's the same screen over and over and over and over again. These things are fluid, they're living, they're changing, and they're adjusting through time, which is pretty amazing. Okay, so Gamescom is coming up. There are all kinds of games that are on the way here, because we're starting to tiptoe into this fall prep for winter stuff.
Yeah, and we're a little bit nervous that the fall and the winter, the holiday season, is going to be a little thin. Gamescom is the great big gaming event that happens in Europe. It's in Cologne, Germany. And so on Tuesday night, we saw a bunch of new games, and none of these games, well, that's not true. There are a couple of them that are coming out this year, but the really interesting ones are at least a year out. There's a massively multiplayer online game based on the Dune franchise called Awakening. It's going to be coming out. There was no date for that one, actually, so who knows. Lies of P it's an action-adventure game based on the story of Pinocchio, but this game has got the tone of BioShock and the fighting mechanics of Bloodborne. It's a really interesting mix of things, and it's coming in 2023 to computers and consoles, and also to Xbox Game Pass. The two that are coming out fairly soon are The Expanse, which is the book series, and also the TV show. It's coming out in a narrative series, and so there are two of these things. There's also a new Tales from the Borderlands that's coming out in October. And these aren't sort of really Twitch gameplay first-person shooter games. These are really narrative games. And so kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure, we've talked about these experiences before, where really the experience hinges on strong character development and a narrative that you're being presented with, and then you get to make decisions about where your characters are going to go, and then the story shifts and adjusts based on the decisions that you make. So two really good environments and worlds. The Expanse, which is this sort of outer space in our time, featuring Carmina Drummer, played by Canadian actor Cara G. And then also New Tales from the Borderlands is set in that wacky Borderlands universe, and it seems to have the kind of writing and humor that you have come to expect from Borderlands games.
Video games with Blaine Kyllo, solocore.com and Solocore on the Twitter, SOLOCORPS. If you want to learn more about those. Now, if you want to add on some conversations about technology, as Ryan likes to say it, the Samsung's latest devices are coming out, and there's some cool stuff here to consider, no matter what kind of phone you use.
Yeah, it's the new refresh coming from some of Samsung's Galaxy Universe. These things actually all release on Friday this week. So if you're interested in anything, they're coming to stores near you right away. So you've already talked about the Galaxy Z Flip 4 and the Galaxy Z Fold 4. Those are the two foldables that Samsung has. The 4s are the latest iterations in those things, but paired up with those are new versions of the Galaxy Buds Pro, which are the Buds 2. They've improved the active noise canceling in these things. What's cool with the Samsung Galaxy Buds is if they detect that you're talking, they'll automatically turn off the automatic noise canceling so that you can have a conversation with people in your real environment. You don't have to take your earbuds out to be able to talk to people. And if you've got a Samsung TV, you can have the Buds 2 Pro connected to your TV, and then if you get a call on your phone, you can take the call on the Buds without having to disconnect from the TV. So there's some interesting synergy happening with Samsung products. Samsung's also got two new watches coming out on Friday, the Galaxy Watch 5 and the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. Really, the difference between these, the 5 Pro is just a little beefier. It's a 45 millimeter crystal on that watch. Both models come in either Bluetooth only or Bluetooth and LTE if you want to use the watch like a phone when you're away from your mobile device. And really the improvements to the Watch 5 that Samsung is bringing in is some additional health monitoring things. So you can monitor health rate and also ECG with the new Watch 5 phones from Samsung.
And they look like a watch too, which is what I really appreciate about them. I mean, if you find that the Apple watches are just too high tech looking, these ones have a round face. They look a little bit more like a traditional watch.
Yeah, they're really nice devices. And if you're on any kind of an Android phone, you can use the buds, and in fact, you can use these things with your Apple device too. Most of these devices play well with each other now, and Samsung has made their wearables, both the earbuds and the watches, work with all Android devices and also with the iPhones.
Awesome. Blaine Kyllo, solocore.com. Welcome back from the vacation. It's back to work, buddy. Got to get at it.
Just in time for fall.